let's talk a little bit about Act 4. So the world doesn't know much about this yet. I don't know how much you can say, but the goal is to release this in 2023, next year.
The goal has been to release it every year since 2012.
Yeah. Is there a chance 2023?
Yeah. The idea is to put out a new song finally after 11 years and stop worrying that it has to be some kind of, grandiose re-arrival, because I already psyched myself, out countless times trying to figure out what people want from me, what I'm supposed to outdo in my previous records, how to be relevant, how to not be relevant, what sounds are in now. Like, that's all gone now. So I've got music. Do I love the music? I do. I feel confident about it. So I'm going to probably release a song either this fall, like maybe, or next year. But 2032, I'm sorry.
We're not waiting that long, brother. We need a song.
Oh God, we don't want another 10 years.
Yeah.
2023. I keep saying 2032 to people. Next year for sure.
That's that long-term vision, I guess. I don't know what's going on 2032.
I'll be on like Act 10 by then. Next year, I have to, I will be letting myself down if I don't put it out. But I can only do what I feel comfortable doing as it shows up. And if it's not ready, or I don't find the right people to help, because I don't really have anybody yet, I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm confident, like 80%, that it'll come out next year. I just have to sing. I still have to sing vocals on it and then mix. So it's really not that far. And there were about 70 songs, 70 that I had to whittle it down from. So in order to do that, I just decided to put them all in a hat, just write them all out and put them in a hat, and ask the universe, which songs do people most need right now? I believe that was the focus. And I did it in a meditation. And then I had my friend Georgia Jean, who I work with on the spiritual stuff, also choose so that we could have, like, did you get this one? Okay, one vote for this one, one vote for this one. And a lot of the songs I thought were going to be on the record got eliminated. And the album turned into something that I didn't even see, because I couldn't figure out in 70 songs because there's so much different diversity and elements on the stuff that it's like, where's the cohesion? So I said, I'm going to surrender on it. I don't know mentally, but I know, like, higher self does, or my soul, or the angels, or whatever. So I asked them, can you pick the track listing? Okay. So I'm not going to look. And I, said, okay, we're going to do, 15 songs. And I made sure to specifically say that this has to be what the world wants, not what will make me happy, but that, and I'm sure there's a match between the two. So I picked the songs. That's the record. I'm not going to change it unless I write something new or I feel called to reevaluate. That's the record. Hopefully next year.
So I was going to ask, Act 1 had, I believe, 16 songs. Act 2 had 15 songs. Act 3 had 11 songs, a little shorter. So I was going to ask if we knew around the song total, and you're saying it should be about 15?
I like the number 13 because of the heaven plane frequency number of 13 dimensions, but between 12 and 15. But then again, I was thinking of pressing vinyl, because I've never pressed vinyl. And I was thinking of maybe doing 4 songs on 2 records. Do like a 16 thing, 4, 4, 4, and 4, and keeping it even. But the vinyl's so expensive, I don't know. I guess we'll see.
We're going to bring in a billionaire sponsor to make all this happen. Money will be no issue here.
That'd be amazing.
We're gonna put that out there. Can you give us any insight on maybe sonically what you think it'll sound like, or is it mix of up tempo, down tempo? Is it I don't know. I guess I'm grasping at anything you'll give me as a fan for what to expect musically.
Well, the problem with waiting so long between records is that I went through different phases. And so there's different eras within that almost 12 years that are different, that sound different and feel different. So it was hard for me to figure out which songs are going to make sense together and have the same kind of flavor. And that's why I feel this was done the right way. But I was starting to get inspired by some shoegazy 80s sort of like New Order and The Cure guitar sounds with chorus on them and a lot of reverb. I've also been inspired by like trip hoppy soul stuff recently. So I found the melodies on some of these songs are almost R&B-ish. Like they almost, I'm trying to think if that happened on a previous record of mine. They're a little more soulful, some of them. And then there's a few piano ballads that are just really, really emotional. So I did one song on my web show 2 years ago called Marianne, and people were crying. Like I had family members that never heard it and they were crying. I'm like, okay, that's a good sign. There's a song called Orphans that is also a piano ballad, and it's my favorite song I've ever written. And every time I hear it, I like it's almost overwhelming for me to listen to. Like I just get so emotional, and to me, that's just those are always great signs, is to see if you can get goosebumps or shivers. So most of the material has been tested through the emotional testing system to see that when those songs come on, I have to feel some kind of tingle or some kind of sensation for it to make the cut. So so yeah, there's a few piano ballads. It's not very orchestral. The record didn't turn into anything like sort of like orchestral cinematic. It's more synth pads, chorus guitars, a lot of programming, almost no real drums at this point. And yeah, I think and the concept of it has still yet to reveal itself as I'm still kind of writing the words out. It was originally supposed to be a concept record about the ascension of humanity, where everyone is sort of going through this increase in frequency, and so I think it's going to touch on that. I have a couple working names, but I can't say what they are because I haven't released the name.
So it'll be Act 4, but we don't know what the rest of the name is.
I'm still out to lunch on exactly what to title it, but I know I have the working title if you can read my mind.
Okay, I got it, but I'll keep it between
four words. Act 4, 4 words, but that could change.
So normally I ask guests that have been writing and recording during the pandemic what the challenges have been. And I feel like for you, maybe it's not the same challenges because you're a one-man band in self-isolation anyways. So has it been pretty much what you normally do?
In quarantine,
like living that quarantine life since 2005 or whatever.
I work alone. I work in isolation. I hadn't left the house in years anyway, really. I'd grown my hair down to here. I just cut it because lockdown's over and it's time to come out of hermit mode. But yeah, the pandemic didn't change much for me recording, but I'm curious to hear what the albums that are coming out are going to sound like that were written and recorded during that time.
Yeah. You had to get a big haircut before this big Zoom interview. I understand.